Hello out there in Facebook Live land. Thank you for joining us today for this Teach Ag live from the green carpet. We do actually have a green carpet here. I don't think you can see it, but we're glad that you're joining us. Just take our word for it. We are here today at BASF in Research Triangle Park in Durham, North Carolina. I am Ashley Collins, Director of Collegiate Relations with Agriculture Future of America, one of your three hosts today for this wonderful event where we are here today to celebrate the phenomenal profession of teaching agriculture and all those great ag teachers who are out there. And today with me, helping me co-host this green carpet event, I have Marcus Hollan from Cultivating Change and also Ebony Weber from Manners, Minorities in Agricultural and Natural Resources and Related Sciences. So Marcus, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and a little bit more about what we're doing here today?
Absolutely. Well, welcome. My name is Marcus Hollan, again, Executive Director of the Cultivating Change Foundation and one of the partners with the National Teach Ag campaign and NAAE. We're excited to be here to celebrate the retention and the recruitment of highly skilled and valuable agriculture educators that are impacting our classrooms and our future students that are taking on careers in agriculture. And so we're very excited to be here to celebrate those people, those entities, and those individuals. When we think about ag education, we know of the three-ring circle model: FFA, SAE, and the classroom instruction. And right in the middle of that three-ring circle are our agricultural educators, our classroom teachers, bringing all of those circles together to create this cohesive, well-rounded agricultural education student. And we're excited here to celebrate those three circles and the teachers that make it happen.
Thank you, Marcus. I'm Ebony Weber. I serve as the Chief Operating Officer for Manners, and we're here at our 9th annual Teach Ag event and our 8th annual live webcast. In previous years, it was hosted at Buena Park, California, North Carolina A&T, CHS Incorporated, Minnesota, American Farm Bureau in D.C., Poet in South Dakota, Chicago High School in Illinois, and Corteva Agriscience in Iowa. Have any of you ever had a chance to attend any of these events?
I have, Ebony. Actually, I've been to two other Teach Ag live webcasts. So this is actually my third time attending live and in the flesh. Had the honor of attending at Poet in South Dakota. It was my first time actually ever going to South Dakota. I traveled quite a bit in my career, so it was nice to be there. Beautiful facility they have in South Dakota. And then I was here in North Carolina as a North Carolinian. Great to have it here in our state, and attended when North Carolina A&T hosted the event a couple years ago, so was great to be there that year as well. So awesome to have it back here in North Carolina this year.
That's awesome. And then I guess any personal ag stories, any ag teacher stories. I traditionally did not come from a background of ag, so unfortunately I haven't had the pleasure of having any type of ag education curriculum and instruction in my high school. So what about you all?
Yeah, I actually have a degree in 2 degrees in agricultural education. So shout out to both NC State University, who we're going to hear from later today. We'll have I think they're going to join us on the green carpet, but degree from there, as well as from North Carolina A&T. Have my master's degree from there, and but went through the program as in a high school program. So shout out to Burns High School in Lawndale, North Carolina, if they happen to be watching. And so that's where I went through my agricultural education program. How about you, Marcus?
Well, I too was a product of agriculture education like you, Ashley. And Ebony, what I love about ag education and the ag industry is it brings everyone together. Regardless if you had a seat in a classroom as an agricultural student, the passion for the industry and the passion to give back to the industry and to find a career there is what's most important. For me, if I think back to my high school years at Mariposa County High School in California, Scott Duffin, Wayne Forsythe, Buzz Arnold, 3 individuals that foundational core values and those training processes you had as a young adult began in those rides to and from events, the conversations that happen after you lost an event,
yes.
Those life teaching moments that really bonds a student with their agriculture educator. And to continue to celebrate ag educators, 2 things are going to happen. One, if you're joining us live, tweet out a shout out or a Facebook live shout out to your favorite ag teacher and a story about your ag teacher that's impacted your life. We'll be hearing more about those ag teacher stories, and we're going to celebrate 3 ag teachers right now. Yeah. They're a part of our spotlight here today at the National Teach Ag Day here live on the green carpet in Greensboro. I'm so sorry. We are in Durham, North Carolina at the BASF Agricultural Solutions headquarters. We have 3 of our agricultural spotlight teachers. We have Allison Meadows, all the way here from Oregon, from Sherwood High School. Keontae Edmonds here from North Carolina at Wake County High School. And coming to us from Montana, Eric Tilleman from Cascade High School. Welcome to all 3 of you. Thank you for being here. If we can, starting with you, Allison, how many years have you been in an ag educator, and what's your passion that drives you into being in the classroom?
Well, thank you, Marcus. I think for me, this is going to be my 10th year. I had realization that it was my 10th year, and I that's a benchmark, I think, in ag education that's very, very important. Getting past the 5 and the 10-year mark, it has a lot of longevity to hold to it. So I'm excited about that. And I think for me, every day, I think about going in and seeing students. Early in the morning, being able to see students come in, just in my classroom already before I even get there, is kind of what drives me every single day. But also seeing like aha moments all day long. I think that students are always amazed at the things that they can learn in the classroom. And so I think seeing those is what keeps me going every single day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Allison. 10 years. It's incredible. Keontae, how many years have you been a part of ag education? And also tell us about what drives you to get you up every morning and walk into the classroom and teach.
So this is my 7th year teaching. I teach at Heritage High School in Wake Forest, North Carolina. So shout out to Heritage High School. I would say something that drives me is introducing kids to new exposure opportunities. So this past weekend, we went to Wildlife Camp. I had a kid come up to me and say, "Oh, Mr. Edmonds, I want to be an entomologist." And just that fascinating moment that kid found out something they want to do in life, that made me wake up and say every day that I want to go back and work as an ag teacher.
Absolutely. We just heard a presentation on the Monarch Butterfly project here with BASF. Perhaps that's a pathway that they can go down in joining that crew. Eric, coming to us from Montana, the years of your being in the classroom, and what does being a part of Teach Ag campaign mean for you?
Well, I've been teaching for 16 years now, going on my 16th year in Montana. Same school, Cascade, lovely place. I think the best part about this Teach Ag campaign is we're helping the teachers to retain teachers and to get new people into this and show them that it's not just cows, plows, and sows in agriculture. We're in cells, gels, and dells, and we learned about entomology here. So, I mean, that's the reason why I get up every day, too, to teach all the kids that stuff.
Wonderful, thank you. And to wrap us up, if we can go down the line, a piece of advice that you have for perhaps a pre-service ag educator that's out there right now getting ready to go in the classroom, they're getting ready to start student teaching experience or just finished, what piece of advice do you give them as they head into this career?
So I would say my piece of advice is keep learning relevant and be relatable for your students, because if they can't have fun, then they're not going to be engaged in learning. And then success is not about how many awards you have on the wall. It's about the passion that you show to those students.
I'd say that add on to that, I think it's most important to be your authentic self. So not necessarily looking at what does that pinnacle ag teacher do and what are they doing in their room, because your classroom is going to look completely different, I think, than who you are. So I think figuring out who you are is the number one factor for me, and then do what you do on an everyday basis. I think if once you figure out who you are, you're a lot more comfortable and confident in your classroom, and your first and second years will be a lot easier.
I think go in confident, like you say, be excited about it. Don't be afraid to fail. It's going to happen, and that's where those aha moments happen, and kids learn more from that, the mistakes, than if you actually taught it and it was right every time. So that's
wonderful. There you have it. Keontae, Eric, Allison, thank you so much for the years that you've put into agriculture education. Thank you for being a part of the Teach Ag celebration here. And to all our future ag teachers out there, the words of advice to take, continuing down that road. Thank you so much. And now, as we continue along, we're going to hear from some of our partners here at BASF.
Thank you so much, Marcus. We're now being joined by our lovely host at BASF. We mentioned earlier that we're here today at BASF headquarters in Research Triangle Park, and we're being joined by Carrie Gray. I'll let Carrie tell you a little bit more about her role here at BASF, and also Courtney White and their co-worker Barbara. They're going to tell you a little bit about their roles here at BASF and maybe what we can expect today by being here at their campus in RTP. So, Carrie, tell us a little bit about what you do here at BASF and what we can expect what those who are attending live here today can expect by being here on campus.
Sure. Well, we are so excited to be the host today. I'm Carrie Gray. I am the Community Relations Manager for North America. And one of the roles that I really work with is we work with Teach Ag, Cultivating Change, Manners, FFA, AFA, and so many other organizations that really support ag education. We have a couple of priorities. around what we do in the community. So agricultural education, science education is very important to what we do. We have a program called Kids Lab, which is a program that we're able to share with a lot of teachers. So if you need to have some experiments in your classroom, we can certainly help you out with that. And then of course we have a library of experiments on abc11.com/science club. I'm going to let our Director of Communications, Barbara Aguilar, tell us a little bit about what to expect today while we're here on site at BASF here in RTP, North Carolina.
Thank you, Carrie. So my name is Barbara Aguiar. I lead the communications team. There's one thing for sure you can expect today at BASF: excitement and green. So everyone today came, lots of green. And that is one way for us to show the support to teach ag and ag education in general. So this afternoon, the program will continue. Webcast will be showing live what's going on. Very excited because we will hear lots of successful stories from industry professionals who have benefit from having a ag teacher, a peer, career, etc. So I think this afternoon I would definitely say stay with us, wear your green, and show support for Teach Ag.
Courtney, how about you? What's your role here at BASF?
So my name is Courtney White, and I am responsible for leading human resources. And I like to think that everyone knows what that means, but ultimately I have the privilege of partnering with the organization to look after our people, look after our culture, and ultimately how we're organized.
Awesome, thank you. Carrie, you mentioned some science kits and stuff that teachers can get engaged with if they're looking to have some experiments through BASF in their classroom. And earlier today, we heard about some projects that BASF does with the monarch butterfly. Is there a particular web address or where you would have educators navigate to on the BASF website if they're looking for more information on some of those kits?
So they can certainly look on our website. Probably the best way to connect with us would be through social media. So make a request on our Facebook page or on LinkedIn, and we can certainly get you all the information that you're looking for. And then the abc11.com/science club, BASF does sponsor that particular program. That is an incredible library of science experiments that are all right there. You click on the link, there's a video about 90 seconds. So these are really great resources around science. There's also a PDF, which will be a leader guide to tell you exactly step by step the steps you need to take to make sure the experiment goes well. And we always recommend adult supervision, so don't totally turn it over to your classroom, although my son did put some ivory soap in the microwave the other day. All good.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. And again, for those of you joining us, please stay tuned this afternoon. BASF has done a tremendous job. I know here on our green carpet, you can only see a little snippet, but as you're joining us through the rest of the broadcast this afternoon, you'll see the other room that we'll be in. The decor here is phenomenal. The entire headquarters is really decked out in awesome Teach Ag decorum. Everyone here is definitely in the spirit to celebrate ag teachers, so we certainly do appreciate all the support of your staff and everyone here on the team. So thank you guys so very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I think Ebony is going to, or Marcus is going to introduce us to some additional green carpet people I see peeking around the corner here. They look pretty excited to be joining the party. So, Marcus, who do you have coming
Wonderful.
on board?
Thank you so much, Ashley. We are excited as we continue to celebrate Teach Ag here at BASF headquarters. And just as BASF is housing the event here today, the very entity that houses the Teach Ag campaign lives within inside the National Agriculture Educators Association of Agriculture Educators, and their leadership team is here with us this afternoon to help celebrate ag education and our ag educators. And we'd like to meet some of these folks and to hear a little bit more about NAAE. We have Miss Alyssa Smith coming to us here. We have Jason Kemp, who currently serves as the president of NAAE from Tennessee. We have Miss Nancy Trevette and Mr. Jay Jackman himself. Thank you all for being here. Just to kick off as we go around of talking about the role that NAAE plays in the success of the future of our ag educators in the classroom.
Go ahead. No.
Anyone. And if you're back home, tune in as well. You can tell.
Hey, thanks, Marcus. You know, NAAE is all about helping agriculture teachers be better at what they do in terms of the content that they teach and also the pedagogy and the methods in which they teach it. So we're all about professional development for agricultural teachers wherever they may be teaching, at whatever levels they may be teaching and working. We're about teacher recruitment and retention, which is what we celebrate here today with the 10th anniversary of National Teach Ag Day. And we also help teachers with advocating for their programs and helping them to understand how to better communicate positive messages about their local programs with their administrators and their local communities. So we're about advocacy and professional development and recruiting the next generations of agriculture teachers and keeping the good teachers in ag education that we have.
And a phenomenal job your team has done and continues to do. Jason, you serve now as the president of NAAE.
Yes,
what does that role entail for you and the role that you serve for other agricultural educators across the country?
Our main role is to support our ag teachers across the United States. That's for myself. That's the reason why I got into this role. I want to be able to support all of our ag teachers and across the U.S. and what they do each and every day in the classroom.
Absolutely. Nancy, what to you, in your opinion, in your perspective and experience, what makes ag teaching so special?
I think the special part about an agriculture teacher opportunity is to be able to work with young people, to work with helping them develop their passions around the industry of agriculture and getting them ready for success. And that happens every day in an agriculture classroom. And I think that's what brings us to this profession, the love of and passion for us to be able to help them to get to that point, help them learn and follow the passions that they have and fill those employment opportunities across the industry.
Absolutely, because we're not filling just ag teacher jobs, we're filling other jobs within the industry across the spectrum, all careers. And Alyssa, you've come across a lot of ag teachers in your time and in your tenure. Is there a shout out to an ag teacher that stands out to you as a shining star in your mind?
I can't do that. You know that. I would be in trouble. They would hang me for that.
You could randomly pick one out of random.
Well, I would say that the teachers that I've worked with through all of the different programs that we have through NAA, we have our National Agri-Science Teacher Ambassadors, our Accelerate participants that every day they're working out there trying to balance career and their life and to be the great ag teachers that we want them to be, and we know they are. Our Teacher Turn the Key, that was a program that when I was a teacher a long time ago, it seems like 15 years ago when I was in the classroom, that was a program that I went through and saw a lot of value. So there's all of those teachers out there that I could call out, hundreds and hundreds of teachers by name, because we have the best teachers of any education area. And so we know that because they're dedicated, they're passionate, they're just the best. So I thank all of them.
Also shout out to all of the pre-service teachers that are joining us in this celebration today, because hundreds of them all across the United States, are the next generation of ag teachers, and we celebrate them as well and thank them for making the choice to be an agriculture teacher. You're setting yourselves up for a great career.
We can't wait to get them.
Absolutely. Jay, team, crew, thank you so much for the leadership of NAAE. You bring the passion and heart to this industry and to this organization, but we also inspire the students and the future ag teachers to continue to bring their passion and hearts as well. Thank you so much for being with us here.
Thank you, Marcus.
And as we're going to
looking sharp, by the way.
Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate it.
We appreciate that.
Anytime on camera with Jay Jackman, I want to put on a bow tie. And we're going to continue on celebrating other organizations and companies that continue to support agricultural education in the Teach Ag campaign as we turn back over to Ebony with one of our partners.
You want to get Rhonda? Hi, everyone. I would like to introduce you to Dr. Rhonda Ham from Corteva Agriscience, based in Indianapolis, Indiana. I got to get my states together here. So, Dr. Ham, could you tell us a little bit about Corteva Agriscience and some of the jobs that you all have to offer to young people?
Absolutely. So Corteva Agriscience is involved in three main areas. So we have crop protection products, we have seeds, and we have our digital platform. And so we basically have jobs for anyone. So if you want to be an engineer, you want to be a scientist, you want to be in business and marketing, we have something for everyone. Just take a look and follow your passions. That's my advice that I almost give everyone all the time is, you're going to be successful if you follow your passion.
That is so true. As the cliche go, if you love what you do, you never go to work a day in your life.
Yes, so true.
Okay. So tell us about some of the teacher programs Corteva AgriScience supports.
Yeah, so we have teacher programs actually for all the grades. So if you are an FFA chapter that's working with an elementary school, for example, we have some hot off the press curriculum at www.nsta.org/Corteva, Corteva. So we have 10 lesson plans that are for that K-5 range. We have a partnership with the Farm Bureau at purpleplow.org. So there's another resource for you teachers, purpleplow.org. And that is for middle school and high school. And those are project-based learning. So we basically pose a large challenge question, something like, how do you solve food security in your local community? How do you promote pollinator habitats? And so all of those kinds of projects are there on that website and available. And it does have a very cool prize, so check that out. And then for our educators themselves, we are a big proud sponsor of the CASE Institutes. So if you were looking for professional development, take a look. We offer some sponsorships and scholarships for that program. So there's something for everyone.
So make sure you all check out those resources. One of the websites was purpleplow.com.
Purpleplow.org.
I'm sorry. Check out the sponsorship resources for agriculture educators. And what was the first website again?
Yeah, so that's nsta.org/Corteva.
Corteva. So one last question, Dr. Ham. Did you have an ag education background, or do you have a special shout out for ag educator?
I have a bunch of special shout outs for educators. So yes, Fresno Central FFA chapter, if you're out there listening, that's where I am from. So I am a FFA member, a product of the organization myself. And then I taught at Sierra High School and Clovis East High School. So hi, if you're all out there. And just yesterday in Indiana, I was launching a program with Arsenal Tech, as well as Hamilton Southeastern High Schools in Indiana. So lots of shout outs. Thank you, teachers, for what you do. You make it possible for me to have this awesome job that I have, and you make our industry awesome. So thank you for what you do.
That's right. Thank you. And thank you, Corteva AgriScience, for all of your support for teachers as well as for students that are pursuing these careers. We appreciate your support.
Thank you. It's absolutely a pleasure for us.
Thank you. And now I'm going to have my co-hosts join us again to talk a little bit about our organizations and kind of the work that we do. And so, Marcus.
Yeah, why not? Not just co-host, we actually hang out with each other outside of green carpet events because we all come from different organizations that work together and partner together, and we all are connected to the Teach Ag campaign, NAAE, and agricultural education. I represent the Cultivating Change Foundation, which is a 501c3 that was launched 5.5 years ago, that's focused on creating the visibility of the focusing on the LGBT community within the agriculture industry, and utilizing advocacy, education, and community to really bring folks together that are a part of a marginalized community and connecting them back into the agriculture industry, or folks that are within the agriculture industry, providing them a network and an opportunity to gain resources, skills, and knowledge, and helping to interact with other folks within other minority industries as well. We'll talk a little bit more about our organizations even on stage later today. And Ebony, if you could tell us a little bit more about Manners and the work that you all do.
Sure. So Manners is an organization. We'll be turning 35 years old next year, celebrating our 35th anniversary. But as they mentioned before, Manners is minorities in agriculture, natural resources, and related sciences. And a lot of our mission of the work that we really work hard for is just really empowering minorities who are pursuing those careers, and for underrepresented students to expose them to career opportunities in ag that may not have that traditional connection to the agriculture, may come from urban environments where there aren't any ag education programs around. And so Manners is that connecting piece to those students as well as to those educators, to connect them with opportunities with academia institutions as well as to other partners in the industry that kind of help forge a more community.
Wonderful. And Ashley, with AFA, tell us about the great work that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. AFA stands for Agriculture Future of America. We are we're going on 24 years old as an organization based out of Kansas City, Missouri. We build transformational leaders in the agricultural space, and we define transformational leaders as those who lift others up and support them. And who better does that than agriculture teachers? And we've all seen that today in celebrating that. And so so we do that by providing professional and experiential opportunities for young students, undergraduate students in the agricultural space through a leaders conference that we host every year in Kansas City. And then we also offer some leader institutes for students to get some engagement and exposure to different career opportunities and professional development opportunities in agriculture. So yeah, look forward to talking more about that on stage later. And I think I see out of the corner of my eye some of our next guest coming. So We'll start to maybe introduce some of them. I think they're coming on the green carpet. Maybe we're going to stall for another minute or two while they're still joining us.
I was going to share, I think it's important to talk about those partnerships and why those relationship matters. And when we think about Teach Ag, 2 years ago, we started a partnership with Ellen in the FAST program on bringing in 20 plus pre-service agriculture educators to our national summit to gain skills and understanding of how to better serve minority students that they will have in the classroom, that they will have and that will be in their classroom, that needs their guidance, that needs their support. How do we best support those students? And so Cultivating Change Foundation and our summit provided an opportunity for Teach Ag, and that partnership allows us to be able to provide even more skill sets of looking at what are other resources that teachers need in the classrooms to be able to serve students of all areas and to create a real inclusive classroom and community for their students. And so we're excited. Our 6th annual summit will take place next June with our co-host here of BASF as well. So we'll be back here at Research Triangle Park to celebrate our 6th annual summit next June.
That's pretty awesome.
You've done something similar, right, Ebony?
We have done something similar. Last year at our conference, we partnered for the first time with Ellen to bring some students from across the country to work with our Junior Manners program, which is our high school program for students across the country this is their first introduction to agriculture. So a lot of those pre-service teachers were able to come in, volunteer with our students, and actually get practical application of running a diverse classroom. So they really managed a lot of the programs that were taking place at the conference, really working hands-on with the students on instructional learning. So it was a really great opportunity for them to be able to practice their craft in a real setting with students.
That's fantastic.
It's really awesome.
And at AFA, we've done something very similar at our opportunity fair or at Leaders Conference. We offer an opportunity fair for students to go around and talk to different companies who are exhibiting there. And we know that pre-service agriculture teachers may have interest in talking to some of those companies, certainly an opportunity to learn more that they can take back into the classroom. But we know that time could also be spent with a campaign like Teach Ag and with spending time with Ellen and her staff, getting some of those same educational resources that you talked about earlier. And so we carved out some time during that opportunity fair that those students, we see about 20% of the students who are selected for our Leaders Conference are agricultural education majors. So instead of spending that time in the opportunity fair, they can actually go into like a mini FAST session with Teach Ag and spend some time and get some of that additional training there with her. So it's been very unique and exciting, and hopefully helps to recruit some more agricultural education majors to AFA and to our programs that we offer.
That's pretty awesome. As you can see, we are surrounded by a lot of great organizations who are doing a lot of great work to support the work that ag educators are doing. So when you're out looking for more professional development opportunities, make sure you consider Manners, Cultivating Change, or Agriculture Future of America for those other opportunities that you're seeking for yourself as well as for your students.
Absolutely. And I think I see our next guest on the green carpet here, Dr. Travis Park from North Carolina State University, joining us just down the road here in Raleigh. So he's here to talk to us a little bit about the programs at NC State University. He's got quite the contingency here, so many that we couldn't fit them all on camera, and that's why you're here to represent the Wolfpack, right, Dr. Park?
Absolutely. We're thrilled that Teach Ag Day is here in North Carolina and right here in our backyard in Raleigh.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the need for ag teachers in the state of North Carolina? What does that look like?
Across the state of North Carolina, we have 545 agriculture teachers at the middle and high school level. About 80% of those are high school teachers. The others are middle school teachers, and that's where we see our growth. But over the last 2 years, we've had 90 to 110 openings for teachers across the state. And so that includes retirements or a teacher moving from one school to another. But there are 5 teacher prep institutions across the state, and we can't quite fill that need, so we need plenty more ag teachers.
Nearly 100 openings in this great state. As a North Carolinian myself, I certainly would encourage all of you out there watching that if you are a current college student, this is a great place to come and live and potentially work. And if you're a high school student, it's a great place to come get a degree in agricultural education. What's your ag ed story, Dr. Park?
Well, Ashley, I grew up in Indiana, and I was a FFA member, a 4-H member as well, and attended high school at Indian Creek High School. My dad was my ag teacher, so he had a profound influence on my life. And then I attended Purdue University and taught high school ag at Tri-County High School up in the northern part of the state for 5.5 years, and went back to grad school at the University of Florida, and have taught at Cornell University in upstate New York in teacher preparation, and then have been here in North Carolina for 7 years and love every bit of it.
Awesome. Any ag teacher shout outs from you?
Give a shout out to my dad, Joe Park. I don't think he's on Facebook, but that's okay. And I tell you what, there are just hundreds of ag teachers around this country that mean so much to me. Teachers that took me to WLC, that helped me with contests, that I've worked with in New York, and then certainly here in North Carolina. Just wonderful, wonderful people, the salt of the earth, making a difference in the lives of young people.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Park, for coming and representing the Wolf Pack today, and for all that you brought with you for this event. We certainly appreciate your support and all that you're doing to help create new ag teachers for the profession. So thank you so much for joining us.
Ashley.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I'm going to now turn it over to my co-host, who I believe we have another partner who's going to join us, and Ebony's going to introduce us to that particular individual.
Hello again. I'm joined now by Miss Nancy Lilja, from the president of CHS Foundation. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So great. Would you start just giving the Facebook Live audience just a little bit about yourself and your role at CHS Foundation?
Absolutely. So I've worked for CHS, which is the funder of the CHS Foundation, for 40 years now. And I had the opportunity to join the foundation about 3 years ago, and have just been really, really excited by the work our foundation is doing, along with Teach Ag and FFA and Manners and so many organizations, to develop the next generation.
That's awesome. And so we understand that CHS Foundation and the National Teach Ag campaign have a very special relationship. Can you talk about that partnership?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been partners with National Teach Ag since their inception. And, you know, our mission is all around developing the next generation of ag leaders. And we know that teachers are just critical to that mission. So having a partner like National Teach Ag that has a shared mission and goal is just really special. And we're just so proud to partner with them.
That's awesome. Are there any exciting things going on with CHS Foundation right now?
Lots of exciting things always, but we are super excited right now about gearing up for National FFA Convention. It's just a really exciting time of year for us, and it's a great opportunity for us to meet and engage with students and teachers. And this year we're really excited to be hosting the Teachers Internet Cafe at convention. So a place for teachers to come in and relax and hear about the ways we can support them, and also apply for classroom grants.
Okay, that's a pretty great opportunity. So make sure you all check out their internet cafe when you hit the convention this year.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about some of the work that your local co-op owners are doing, and how do they support the work that you're doing in your communities?
Absolutely. Well, actually, one of the founding principles of a cooperative is concern for the community. So I think cooperatives, including CHS, support the community in a lot of ways. Economically, they provide jobs in the local communities. They provide a place for farmers and ranchers to purchase their inputs and to sell their outputs. They create infrastructure. And you often see many of our farmer owners serving on local boards, on local school boards, on local church boards, so they're very active in their communities.
Okay, that's awesome to hear. And tell us a little bit about the ag cultures and my local cooperatives, and how ag teachers can get involved in those initiatives.
Oh my gosh, well, my local cooperative, that is a new curriculum that we have actually partnered with National Teach Ag to create, and we're so excited about it. It's just getting ready to roll out. And it's really a tool for teaching students about cooperatives and what they mean, who they are, what the career paths are. And the best part is it's free. It's completely free for teachers. It's all standards based, and they can access it through mylocalcooperative.org.
Okay, so mylocalcooperative.org is where you can find a lot of those resources. And since today we're celebrating teach ag educators across the country, are there any special ag educators you would like to shout out today?
I just want to say thank you. Again, our mission is developing future ag leaders, and we know that teachers are the inspiration for many of those leaders, and we just appreciate everything that all of you do.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Yes,
we
thank
appreciate
you.
having you.
Thank you.
No problem. And next, I'll be joined back up by my co-host, Marcus, who will be bringing up the National FFA organization.
That is right, Ebony. We talked about that three-ring model of agricultural education earlier: supervised agricultural experience, the classroom instruction, and that third circle of the leadership, Future Farmers of America. And folks, we're joined with folks from the National FFA that are here with us today. The camera here live. We have Mr. Mark Peschel, the CEO of National FFA. Thank you for being here. Do we have Kim Wesley, our Senior Regional Director of the National FFA Foundation? Lori Randall, Senior Regional Director also for the FFA Foundation. Lucy Thompson, Regional FFA Director Foundation. And do we have Mr. Jason Martin will soon be here? Welcome. We've got lots of folks to kick us off. If you could kick us off, actually, Mark, we're just shy of how many days from the National Convention?
I think we are at about 38 days from gavel falling.
So everyone here, stress levels are low. We are good to go.
We are all set, Marcus.
What are you looking forward to the most this year for this 92nd National Convention?
92nd National FFA Convention and Expo. Well, first of all, we always look forward to welcoming all the student members, teachers, and adults from all around the country. Last year, we had 70,000 in attendance. We look forward to having a safe, educational, and fun event for our guests. But some changes this year as well at National Convention that we're looking forward to.
Wonderful. Exciting changes, continued growing, continue to develop. If you haven't been to National Convention in a while, when you come back, it's going to be a different experience than maybe if you've been there 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, and for those that have been in Indianapolis with us previously, we will be moving venues this year. So previously our business sessions had been held in Bankers Life Arena, where the Indianapolis Pacers play basketball. This year we're moving the sessions to Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play football. And Wonderful. It will be a much different setup, a much different experience, a little different cadence of business sessions, delegate sessions. We'll be able to have a Thursday night event that will be a little different for the adults than we've ever had before, and some really cool changes in the expo around the FFA exhibit.
Awesome. Much to look forward to. Very exciting. Thank you for that update. And as we continue down the line here, if folks that want to jump in, of talking about the role that FFA does in supporting future and current agriculture educators, what is that role of FFA?
So the role of FFA is really to support the teachers that are in the classroom. Agricultural education really is the heart and the backbone of our national organization. So helping equip teachers with resources and opportunities and experiences to help students become the leaders that will change the world is really what we're focusing on, and really focusing to support them in that way. And also as an organization, one of our pillars for our strategic plan is really teacher recruitment and retention. Mm-hmm. So how do we focus on those individuals? How do we make sure that they are getting what they need to be successful in the classroom, but then how do we recruit and retain those that will come behind them?
Absolutely. We know that oftentimes an agriculture educator is also an FFA advisor. What is that integral role that FFA advisor plays in the development and the heart of that chapter? And we'll hear from our National FFA advisor himself, Dr. Steve Brown, retiring November 1. So the convention is your last hurrah out with a bang.
That's correct.
So tell us about answering the question of that role the FFA advisor plays in a chapter, and also some words of advice that you'd leave for future ag teachers.
They're called advisor for a purpose. You know, they help guide and advise young people, allow them sometimes to make a mistake, but let them learn from those mistakes. And so they are advisors. I always think that they're really role models of servant leadership. That advisor is the leader and helps those students to develop and to grow in their careers, their career choices, and helps him to be successful. That's what that advisor is all about.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your years of service and your dedication to not just the FFA organization, but to the agriculture education and the industry as well.
Right. Thank you very much.
Appreciated. And as we continue down the line here of thinking about the spotlights of those ag teachers that pop out of our mind, how many of you once also served in a high school classroom as an ag instructor? So we have two of the individuals up here. What draws the other folks in here of being passionate advocates and ambassadors for agriculture education as someone who may not have come through a traditional route? Molly.
So I was a former FFA member and agricultural education student. And as the story goes, your ag teacher is, just like a role model and mentor for you. As Dr. Brown said, they advise you, they lead you, they instruct you, but they're there for you. And so the passion that they show for their students, the love, the opportunity they give to young people is life-changing. And without ag teachers, FFA wouldn't be here. We, as the organization, wouldn't be able to move forward as fast as we are, as well as just with the foundation. Our sponsors love supporting ag teachers. They understand that that's the foundation of the FFA organization. If they support ag teachers, they're supporting FFA for the future.
Absolutely. And we've talked about before today, when we're supporting ag education, we're not just supporting a teacher in a classroom, we're supporting all the careers that are connected to those pathways. As we finish out here down the line, any shout outs for Teach Ag Day that you'd like to have for either folks back home or people close to you?
I just say the shout outs from us from the foundation is thank you so much for your support for our corporate sponsors. It's great for us to have the opportunity here at BASF, but we also have sponsors like CHS, Corteva AgriScience, Growth Energy that supported us in this.
Wonderful.
Same here. Just thank you to all the ag teachers and thank you to our corporate sponsors for supporting Teach Ag.
Thank you. And once again, thank you. We have the leadership, the programming, the fiscal side, all of it right here for FFA. So thank you all for what you do every day. Congratulations again, Dr. Brown, on your retirement. We're excited to continue on celebrating, and we'll see you guys back on Inside.
Great. Thank you.
And I believe we have Miss Ashley Collins going to join us here as we continue our celebration on the green carpet. There are no exit signs. We're just flowing through here. Here you go, Miss Ashley.
Thank you so much, Marcus. I'm going to warn the people running the camera to take a wide shot because I'm being joined by 20 people in this next interview. If they'll come on and join me here, I'm going to let them join me behind me in this area here. Getting crowded here on the green carpet. These are very special guests today at Teach Ag at our celebration. Let me make sure we can get them all in here. These are our fast participants. So these are all pre-service. Everybody try to get into the camera shot here. Might have to make another row. These are the pre-service teachers. So these are students representing colleges from all over the country. I'm working with my camera crew here to try to make sure we can get everybody in. Want to make sure that everybody gets their moment in the camera there. They're here. They've been here for a couple days in North Carolina doing different programming to help them prepare for the profession of teaching agriculture. So they're all enrolled in agricultural programs across the country, and we're going to learn a little bit about what they've been here doing from them, and we're going to hear from a couple of them about what they've been here doing, where they're from, etc. So we've got a big group. There's like 20 of them in this group, I believe. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to ask Morgan here in the back if Morgan could tell us a little bit about what you all have been doing during your time here at Teach Ag, what the FAST program stands for. Tell us where you're from, what school you attend, and what you've been doing for the last day and a half.
So we are in Durham at the FAST Symposium, and that is for Future AgriScience Teacher Symposium, and we are doing a lot of professional development, and we are learning different ways to teach our students who have needs, address all those needs, different instructional strategies, and we're just having a good time learning about each other, learning how to be ag teachers, how to be the best ones out there, and we're making plenty of friends.
Gotcha. What I love, a couple things that Morgan just said there, this is experiential learning at its best. You know, what you get in the classroom and the technical setting back at his college campus is really just enhanced by this extra learning opportunity that he has here at the FAST Symposium that he's going through. And there are a couple of these that happen throughout the country. This is not the only one, but I'm going to go back to Morgan. What school do you go to, Morgan? What university?
The University of Mount Olive.
The University of Mount Olive. And where are you from originally, Morgan?
Rutherford County, North Carolina.
What high school?
East Rutherford.
Shout out to East Rutherford High School in Rutherford, North Carolina. Small world of agriculture here. Morgan and I just met on the green carpet right before he came up, and Morgan's high school principal was a student teacher in my ag program when I was in high school. So small world of agriculture. So one that we lost from the profession of teaching ag to go on to be a principal, but that's always great when your principal loves the ag program, right? Because you get support for your ag program. So shout out to Mr. Bradley, who's now a principal, was my student teacher whenever I was in high school. So now we can swap stories later. I think we've got, let's see who else I can ask some questions here. I'm going to guess you go to K-State, don't you? Got on his purple. So shout out to the Wildcats there. Tell me what advice you have for high school students who are thinking about going potentially maybe to K-State to pursue an agricultural education degree.
Yeah, so I would just say to start that process early, get connected with your university. They're more than willing to talk to you and share resources. Ask your ag teachers. They want to help you move on to that next step after high school. So there's a lot of support out there for you.
Tell us your name.
Zach Callahan.
And Zach, where are you from?
I'm from Tonganoxie, Kansas.
Tonganoxie, Kansas. So is that the name of your high school?
Yep, Tonganoxie High School.
So shout out to Tonganoxie. To Tonganoxie High School. Thank you so much, Zach. Tell us something that you really enjoyed about the FAST Symposium so far that you've been a part of.
Yeah, so I've really been enjoying learning about how to, manage my own classroom and teach students with just different strategies because, everyone learns differently. So.
Absolutely. I'm going to come over here. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Amy Carter, and I'm from Platteville, Wisconsin, but I go to school at South Dakota State.
South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, right? Yep. Gotcha. So tell us what you're most looking forward to whenever you become an ag teacher in the future.
I'm really looking forward to that moment where there's those students that maybe kind of struggle with certain core concepts, but then when you put them into agriculture, that light bulb moment comes on and they just understand it. I'm really looking forward to that.
Those special teachable moments that you have in the classroom. Any shout outs that you have on Teach Ag Day?
Oh goodness. Hi to Beth, Mr. Johnson, and all of the Ag Ed faculty at SDSU.
Shout out to those Jackrabbits. So I think that there was another, let's come right here. Tell us where you're from, what school you go to, what university you go to.
My name is Joelle Jones. I am originally from Cadiz, Ohio, but I go to school in Southern Ohio at Wilmington College.
Shout out to Wilmington College. Any shout outs to your high school?
Well, my uncle was my ag teacher, so I should probably give him a shout out. But I also had to live in because my dad was also an ag teacher, so shout out to Dad too.
I think a lot of people in the ag ed profession are those legacies who come from their parents, kind of got them into that profession for sure. What are you most looking forward to whenever you become an ag teacher?
I'm looking forward to giving kids a home in ag because a lot of times that's where we find our home. Maybe there's a kid that doesn't really fit in anywhere else, but they come in your ag program and that's just where everything clicks for them. And I'm looking forward to being that home for my students.
Absolutely. Yes. A lot of students look for that home in their ag programs. I know a lot of those teachers out there watching with us today, a lot of those students who are probably watching today have found that home in their ag program. Let's take one more person who wants to share with me something they've really taken away from the FAST Symposium, something unique that you've done while you've been here and been part of the FAST Symposium. Yeah, right here on the front row. Love good participator. Tell us where you're from, what university you go to.
So I'm Dahlia Sutliff, and I attend Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, so go Stallions. Also, a special shout out to the ABAC cohort and all three of our wonderful ag professors there. But a neat thing that I really took away from this experience here was we had a guest speaker, and she talked a lot about classroom management strategies and just letting your students take control. One thing that she took away, or that I took away, she always said, "Thank you for teaching me something today." And I thought that was really special because, kids really want to feel appreciated and feel like they contribute something. And by her saying, "Thank you for teaching me today," then I feel like that makes them feel really special. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. What's your name?
Dahlia Sutliff.
Dahlia. And where are you from, Dahlia?
I am from Bradenton, Florida.
Ah, you're a Florida girl going to school in South Georgia. Yeah, that ABAC, they're kind of known for recruiting those Florida kids up there. So, yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us and for being part of Teach Ag Day and for sharing your shout-outs with us. We certainly appreciate you all being here and encourage all of those watching to look for these guys a little bit later in the program as well. So, thank you all. Please exit this way. Marcus and Ebony, what a crowd that was.
It has been quite a morning so far.
So refreshing to see that all those young people who are excited to join the profession and get in the classroom and what they have to say about their futures.
And getting a jump start in that professional development space. How many folks their age are wearing suit and ties at a national headquarters, global headquarters, talking about agriculture and hearing from experts in the field, an experience you cannot get anywhere else. So incredible opportunity. We have, we're going to continue on with some more folks that we're going to have here on the green carpet. Just some reminders as we're going through here is that we'll begin at 1 o'clock again back in the main room. We'll be having some different awards will be given out, as well as some panel discussions from both industry as well as some partners and organizations. And also the Teach Ag Champions of the Year will be announced, which it already has been announced, a slight mark. And our organizations, AFA, Manners, and Cultivating Change are 3 of the 4 organizations being recognized, and we are so excited to be able, and honored as well.
Yep. And one of the other things that I always look forward to with Teach Ag Day, whether I'm here in person or joining in on the live stream, are the videos that all the different college campuses put together. I've spent my entire career working in collegiate relations, so I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of those ag ed clubs all over the country and getting to know their advisors and just a lot of the different people in that space. And I think it's so unique and creative to see what they put together. So those videos were actually released over the weekend and are judged on different views that they get and whatnot. And I just think it's great that it's a way that we can put something out there on social media to promote the profession and to get the views up. And I know the students have a good time. I think sometimes stressful. It certainly teaches teamwork putting those videos together, but they get really creative. I've always enjoyed watching them ahead of time and seeing. And so we get to watch them here today as part of the live broadcast and see who that winner is. And so I'm sure there's some colleges out there.
And last year's winner, Ashley?
My memory.
Kansas State.
Kansas State,
so
that's right.
if you're from Kansas State, shout out to Kansas State who won the video contest last year.
That's right,
So on those social media, as you're tuning in or as you're wanting to make your own post even today, utilizing the hashtag tagged19, TAGGED19. The live webcast begins at 1 p.m. Eastern time right here, and then watch on the Teach Ag website at www.naae.org to tune in for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're still waiting on a few more guests that'll be coming down the pipeline for us to interview. Again, we're here live on the green carpet at BASF Agricultural Headquarters here at Research Triangle Park in Durham, North Carolina. And we're excited to celebrate the recruitment and the retention of agriculture educators from across the country and the 10th annual celebration of the National Teach Ag campaign.
Yeah. I'm curious, Ebony or Marcus, have you all found your star yet?
I have not.
I have not.
I haven't found my star either. So for those of you, we'll kind of describe this to you. There are stars, green stars, lining the walkway here at Teach Ag Day, and we all have stars with our names on them. So it's kind of like Hollywood Boulevard and our Walk of Fame. And so all the special guests and many others in the profession have stars here. And so throughout the day, we've seen different individuals laying down just got a shout out of my name, so now I know where it's at. Laying down and taking photos with their Teach Ag star, so that's a unique part of the decor for sure. That's here at BASF. Super kind of unique and different thing that they've done as part of the event for sure.
Okay, great. And as we begin to wrap up later on today at 1 p.m., you'll hear from Brittany Lloyd, who will share her impact of agriculture and what it has had on her career, as well as the teachers she's worked with. And then we'll be wrapping up today at 2 p.m. with an Ag Teacher Q&A Town Hall. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end to hear both of those great stories from Brittany, as well as some of the Teach Ag Q&A. So I'm sure some great questions are going to come from your pre-service teachers, as well as those that are here today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, Ebony, I think I see maybe our next guest waiting over here on the green carpet for you. So I will maybe turn it over to you and see if this is our next guest waiting for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, the next guest that will be joining me will be from Growth Energy. Mr. Mark Lasher. Nice to meet you, Mr. Lasher.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for being here to celebrate Teach Ag today. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role with Growth Energy?
Yeah, so I actually work with Novozymes, who's a partner organization at Growth Energy. And so Growth Energy represents ethanol producers throughout the country, and those ethanol producers consume roughly 40% of the nation's corn crop. And so at Novozymes, we're a partner organization, a supplier to those ethanol producers that help them manufacture that ethanol more efficiently.
Okay. Well, it does ask me tell me more about Growth Energy. So tell me more about Novozymes.
Well, I can tell you more a little bit about both.
Okay.
So Growth, obviously supporting ethanol. Ag and ethanol are critically linked together.
Correct.
And so Growth Energy created the ethanol curriculum to help foster more innovators and more supporters for ethanol in our ethanol communities, so that more people understand that critical link between agriculture and ethanol. And Novozymes, we go a little bit further, so we have a bioag division where we explore microbial solutions to work towards a sustainable farming economy.
Okay. And so is that what you hope students to walk away with from your curriculum, just learning the more importance of ethanol and how it impacts the community? And what else would students walk away from after engaging with this curriculum?
Yeah, well, I hope they learn that there's beyond the future farmers, that ethanol's created high-paying, high-tech jobs in rural America. And it provides opportunities for future chemists, future engineers, future biologists to work in the communities that they grew up in.
Okay. And how can teachers access this curriculum, or where can it be found?
Yeah, so the ethanol curriculum is available on the community platform. It's free to download to teachers.
Free to download, teachers.
And it's also available on Growth Energy's website.
Okay. So Growth Energy website, and on the community page for Novozymes? Or?
For Growth Energy.
Growth Energy.
So
Growth Energy's community support page, please be sure to go on and you can download those resources for free. So since today we're celebrating National Teach Ag and Ag Educators Everywhere, do you have a special Ag educator you would like to shout out?
Well, we had a few growing up, and honestly they each contributed so much that I don't want to...
Shout out all of them.
All of them?
There, if you can remember all, I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Probably the most favorite was actually my mother helped out. So,
okay.
Yeah, she was
you have to
teacher.
Give, that's the number one shout out.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mark. Is there anything else you want to share with the students who may be tuned in today?
No, I mean, just push yourselves and challenge yourselves, because we don't know what tomorrow will hold. So
that is so true. Well, thank you so much for your support for Teach Ag, and thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
No problem.
This one. Who has this?
Thank you so much.
Joined by my co-host. Thank you all so much. And
wow. What a busy day we've had. Lots of interviews, a lot of camera time for us, for sure. We we're excited about the live webcast that we've got. We've been joined by a lot of people here, a lot of chaos on the green carpet for sure. We appreciate all of you joining in. I thought of a couple other shout outs that I would like to give. Ironically, I ran into my ag teacher at the post office yesterday. I was at home visiting my parents parents and ran into my ag teacher. And I mentioned earlier student teachers. I know we mentioned when I was interviewing pre-service teachers earlier, just, we've got probably some collegiate students joining us. Can't mention enough the impact sometimes that student teachers can have on young students in the classroom. And so there may be, I don't think a lot of people probably usually do student teaching in the fall semester, but as you're preparing for that in your spring semester, thinking about that impact, I had 2 phenomenal student teachers while I was in high school. And then when I was student teaching, I had a phenomenal mentor who really meant a lot to me, and still consider him as a great mentor, Mr. Holt. And 2 of his sons are now ag teachers. So shout out to him and his children as well, who are now in the profession for sure. So
Ashley, I'm glad you brought up our pre-service teachers, the student teachers that are in the classroom. A lot of folks don't realize they're not paid. They have high demands of what their workload. They're learning how to be an educator, learning the pedagogy, learning the science, as well as the art of teaching at the same time. And so to all of our pre-service teachers out there, the folks that are in the classroom, gaining those extra skill sets before going live as a teacher, thank you for your service and dedication and commitment to this organization and to this industry.
Great. And earlier I shared that I had not had an ag educator growing up in high school or middle school, but I do want to give a shout out to 2 special ag educators who are both retired, Dr. Alvin Locke, who was a former member of NFA with FFA, as well as Dr. Curtis White, who are also a member of NFA. These are 2 individuals who I think really speak to the character of ag educators, that mean that you don't have to be in the classroom for them to really have an impact on your life. And so they really took me under my wings, continues to be a mentor to me today, and I just want to shout out those 2 very special gentlemen, say I love you guys, and I hope to see you all soon. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I think we have a couple more guests coming down the green carpet that we'd love to chat with. Come on down. And we'll introduce ourselves here, our name, where we're from, and what we do.
My name is Rachel Selvala, and I teach high school agriculture in New Richmond, Wisconsin. I'm a 21-year veteran.
21 years. Thank you so much for being here with us. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
And I'm David Black. I'm a retired ag teacher for 30 years and now work at Murray State University in Murray, Kentucky.
And what are you doing at Murray State?
I actually work with the ag program, and I work with high school ag students with dual credit.
So we're preparing teachers to go into the classroom to do the work that you did for 30 years.
Absolutely, that's what we do.
How has the ag education program changed for you from when you went through as a student and collegiate program to where it is today? What are those significant changes that you've noticed?
I think the biggest change has been that now ag is more science-based, emphasized. We always taught science, but there wasn't an emphasis. There's almost some teachers are almost scared to even mention the word science, but now they have embraced that, and we want students to see that ag is more than just ag, that there's a whole avenue out there of jobs they can get and still be related to ag, and do that through higher education.
Absolutely. And consistently expanding the definition of what the ag industry really is, and what that scope really looks like is so valuable and important. Rachel, 21 years of teaching. As you think about your experience over the years, we know that the ag education career is a high demand for time, for resources. It can often be draining and demanding on lives. What motivates you 21 years later to still get up every day to go into the classroom?
Sure, that's an easy answer. It's the students and the community. And like David pointed out, it's also the science aspects of it. I operate a school farm with my students, and just this morning the texts were flying back and forth from the kids organizing themselves for the chore crew, because they take leadership. They have ownership and responsibility in what we do. And, David and I are both National Agri-Science Teacher Ambassadors, so we'd like to give a shout out to all of those on the front lines who are back in their classrooms doing great things today. And I think it's that professional development network that we've seen grow over those 21 years that keeps me coming back for more. I am no good to my students if I'm not personally growing.
Absolutely, and that's why organizations like NAAE, the National Teach Ag campaign, are so vital for that professional development. If you could wrap us up and tell us about this ambassador program that you guys are a part of, and what does that entail?
Well, the National Ag Ambassador Program started in 2004. And just like anything in ag, we go through a transformation trying to figure out what we're actually doing. And now we have over 300 ag ambassadors and from all over the country. And so we try to train teachers how to become better teachers, how to teach their students more effectively. And then we also challenge teachers to also teach other teachers. And that's our goal, is to get these ag ambassadors out there and do teacher training, because ag teachers want to learn. We never quit learning, but I think we learn better from each other instead of someone trying to force us to do something. Let's lead by example. And that's what our ag ambassadors, I think, have done.
Wonderful. So if you're an ag teacher out there, you're wanting some extra skill sets, you want some more experience, and also that networking and peer-to-peer, become a part of the ambassador program. And where can they go to check out more information about that?
NAAE. Rachel, maybe you want to tell them a little bit more about it?
Sure. It's a program that you fill out an application, and then you're selected, and then you tootle off to some fabulous place for a little retreat. We've been in Tulsa the last couple of years, so definitely look for that application to be available.
Wonderful. Thank you both for your years of service to ag education and for being with us here today as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we're going to continue on with Ebony and Ashley. Do we have some more guests coming down our green carpet?
I think a great component that we need to talk about today are the people behind the scenes that really help keep this event going. And so we're going to be joined by Andrea from the NAAE and Teach Ag staff. She's going to join us here and tell us a little bit about her role and the work that she does in helping pull this event off.
Hi, I'm Andrea Fristo with NAAE. I just want to say thank you all so much for joining our live webcast, or our Facebook Live feed, and we hope that you will join us for our live webcast here in just a few moments. The National Teach Ag campaign, we promote recruiting and retaining agriculture teachers across the nation. There is a national demand for agriculture teachers, and so we work tirelessly to ensure that we have high quality and diverse agriculture teachers entering the classroom to help build agricultural education up. So in just a few moments, we will have our live webcast here at BASF. We want to thank all of our partners, the CHS Foundation, Corteva AgriScience, Growth Energy, and BASF for all the things that they do for us and allowing us to have National Teach Ag Day and all the other wonderful initiatives that we're able to take on every year. So.
Absolutely. And Andrea, it's not possible without the staff.
Absolutely.
Back in Kentucky and abroad, wherever they may be officed, making that, putting those dollars to good use and absolutely putting these programs in place and kind of keeping the wheels turning. So thank you for all of your hard work and everything that you do to help pull this event off. And as well as there's a lot of staff that you guys don't see today behind the people running the cameras and the people taking the photos and bringing everything to you on the different social media feeds and everything else. And so just a huge thank you to all of them for what they do. Absolutely. So thank you so much, Andrea, for stopping by, because I know you're in demand and I see running into the shot. Perfect timing. So speaking of people who make it all happen, our fearless leader here, Miss Ellen Thompson. So Ellen, what do you want to say to we've been working hard all day on this green carpet. What have you been doing?
I've been watching the three of you work incredible magic.
With a wonderful sash.
With wonderful tuxes and beautiful garments, and obviously just completely overwhelmed by how amazing everyone is and how fabulous the three of you were doing. Like, people were like, oh, are they professionals? Seriously. That's the kind of talk that's happening out there.
So speaking of, we'll go back to interviewing you. 10 years. This is the 8th live webcast, the 9th celebration of Teach Ag. How has this vision evolved for you over the last decade? Where is it today to where you started, and how has that evolution taken place?
When we started, we didn't know all we knew was that we needed to recruit and retain high quality and diverse teachers. Beyond that, We knew that that meant recruiting, that meant retaining, that meant programming. We didn't always know what that looked like. And so now we really feel like we have a prescription for a state or a teacher, like how they can go about doing that. And the number one thing, this all started because we thought people need to tag their replacement. Teachers need to identify someone in their program who will replace them. And so that's how the idea for tagged to teach ag kind of got started. So the number one thing you can do if you're watching, or those teachers that are in their program, if there's someone who loves working with young people, is passionate about agriculture, wants to make a difference in their community, mentor others, motivate and cultivate the next generation of leaders and problem solvers and agriculturalists, think about teaching ag. We need you. And now I'm going to turn it over to you to wrap it up. Please meet us in the other room and let's celebrate ag teachers and get some more people involved in this profession. But you three absolutely killed it today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ellen. And I think we could probably just say that is a great wrap up.
That is a great wrap, yeah. Thank you for your partnership with Teach Ag on behalf of all of our organizations. And we've enjoyed being with you today, and we hope that you've enjoyed being on the other end of this camera, and we're excited to see what the rest of the afternoon holds.
Yep, absolutely. Facebook out comments about your favorite ag experience, your favorite ag teacher experience. Let's continue to celebrate today and the rest of this week of the National Teach Ag campaign.
Thank you. And thank you to my lovely co-host. I think we color coordinated pretty good, didn't we?
Yeah.
What you think,
Thank you.
Facebook? All right. Have a
Appreciate
good evening. Thank you.